This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
More violence in the Circle City, breaking now at 6 o'clock, where overnight shootings left a teenager dead and another injured.
Plus, a major portion of the interstate will close tonight. We are live this morning with how the closure will impact your weekend plans. It is 6 o'clock on your Friday morning. We are so close to the weekend. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrick.
And I'm Lauren Casey, and we have Todd Clausen with us this morning. Todd, is your last day of forecast in your 30s.
I
and you have some great news.
The big birthday on Sunday here. So,
yeah,
the last forecast in the 30s. Hard to believe.
That's not the temperature.
That's not the temperature, though.
Do not panic.
Holy cow.
Do not start searching for your parka.
And thankfully, my age isn't the temperatures that we had earlier in the week. When we were up there
I'd be impressed,
in the 90s. But I'm hoping to get there someday. All right, outside right now, we're dealing with a new air mass in place. You'll need the sunglasses before you go, and you also need the light jacket. So that's the change here. The jacket's needed, especially in some northern communities where temperatures now are in the 40s. But otherwise, skies are mainly clear across the area. There was a little bit of cloud cover earlier, but that continues to fade away, and we'll be completely dry throughout the day today. You notice there's really not a whole lot going on. So your morning commute should be just fine weather-wise across the area, starting off in the 40s and 50s, and then warming as we work our way throughout the course of the afternoon hours with plenty of sunshine. We eventually get into the 60s. We'll talk more about that forecast for you coming up in just a few minutes, Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here's a live look in the downtown area. I-65 and I-70 here at the North Split, where everything's moving along just fine this morning, so no problems heading into downtown for your commute. Let's take a look, though, for your drive time on the northwest side, heading southbound on Interstate 65 from I-865 in the dogleg down to I-70 there at the North Split that we just saw. It's a 17-minute commute. Everything's traveling up to speed.
We continue to follow breaking news this morning. Police say a 15-year-old has died following a shooting at a North Side apartment complex. The gunfire rang out around 2:30 this morning at North Willow Apartments. That's near 86th and Ditch Road. Police say the teen was around a car with two other teens when he was shot and killed. At this hour, officers are still trying to figure out what led up to that shooting.
More breaking news now. Police are investigating a shooting near 23rd and Sheldon. Authorities say the 18-year-old victim is not being very cooperative. Officers say that the man was shot in the side, and they believe the shooting happened a few blocks away. There's no word this morning on what led up to that shooting.
This morning, police continue their investigation into an early Thursday morning shooting at a Broad Ripple pub. The Marion County coroner says 36-year-old Alfred Hayes died from his injuries after being shot near Connor's Pub. Investigators are still talking to witnesses and have yet to release any information about a suspect or what led up to the shooting. Now, after that shooting in Broad Ripple and other recent shootings, the challenger running for mayor of Indianapolis has made gun violence a major campaign issue.
That's right. Jim Merritt says the crime in Indianapolis is getting out of hand and blames Mayor Joe Hogsett for multiple violent crimes happening just this week. Merritt says Hogsett's decision to dissolve the duties of the public safety director into the mayor's duties means Hogsett should be held responsible for the crime rate that Merritt says is increasing.
When the mayor took office, he decided that he was not going to have a public safety director, that he would be in charge of public safety. And he said the proof will be in the pudding in regards to crime, in regards to ambulance, in regards to fire. But most importantly, law enforcement. The pudding is spoiled. The pudding has been poisoned.
In a statement to RTV6, Mayor Hogsett's campaign pushed back on Merritt's claims, citing data from the Brennan Center for Justice study, which shows crime in Indianapolis was down last year. You can read the full statements from both candidates in this story in the RTV6 app.
A hearing is scheduled Monday for a man charged in connection to a shooting that injured a 2-year-old child. Christopher Davis is charged with neglect of a dependent. The shooting happened at a home on North Colorado Avenue on the northeast side last month. Investigators believe another child shot the toddler while adults were in another room. The 2-year-old was not severely injured. New overnight, fire officials are investigating a southeast side house fire. The fire started around 2 this morning on Chorleywood Circle. That's near Southport Road and 5 Points Road. Smoke and flames were coming from the home when crews arrived on scene. Fire officials aren't sure what started the fire, but they say 3 people, a guinea pig, and a dog made it out okay. The home sustained significant damage.
Well, some sheriff's deputies out in Hancock County will soon be cruising cruising around on 2 wheels. The office is adding battery-powered bikes, and they have lights and sirens, and those bikes can reach speeds of 40 miles per hour. The Hancock County Sheriff says the bikes will be used on trails, in neighborhoods, and also at festivals and similar events.
Getting out there, getting the guys out of the car, it's kind of like the old beat cop, foot patrol type things back in the old days. And so, we've had some positive interaction with it already.
4 deputies assigned to the bike patrol, and the sheriff plans to be a part of it as well. Okay, so if you have some weekend plans to head downtown, you may need to take an alternate route.
Our own Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with an update on a weekend road closure that could impact you. Hey, Kelsey.
Hey guys, what's up? So yeah, if you're going downtown this weekend, heading from the south side, then you need to listen up. This message is for you. The northbound lanes of I-65 are going to close. That's starting tonight at 9 p.m. It's going to be closed from I-465 to the north split downtown. Here's a look at that roadway that's going to be impacted by this project. This closure goes into effect again, I said, at 9 p.m. tonight and will last through Monday morning at 6 a.m. This will impact you if you're heading into downtown from the south side. Drivers should use I-465 to get around the closure. Also, only one northbound lane will be open between Southport Road and I-465 during this time. So again, if you're heading downtown, it's just important to plan ahead before you leave your house. There are several roads across the area that will be closed or reduced this weekend. You can head over to theindychannel.com for a list and a map of all of those closures. For now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you. Now to Democracy 2020. You can add another name to the growing list of candidates in Indiana's 5th Congressional District who want to replace the retiring Susan Brooks. Republican Dr. Chuck Dietzen of Zionsville just launched his campaign. Dietzen recently retired as Chief of Pediatric Rehabilitation Medicine at Riley Hospital for Children. He's also the founder of Timmy Global Health, an Indianapolis-based nonprofit that's worked to expand health care access in developing countries. Hoosier voters have just a few more days to register before this year's elections. The deadline to register for November's municipal elections is Monday, October 7th. You can register at your county clerk's office or online at indianavoters.com. You can also check your registration status or find your polling place. The municipal elections are scheduled for Tuesday, November 5th. A company on the city's west side is helping keep airline passengers safe in the air. After the break, we'll show you how they're also helping new careers take flight. Todd.
And Meredith, the new air mass is in place across central Indiana. If you like fall, you're going to love walking outdoor this morning. However, you probably got to head out the door with a jacket. Make sure the kiddos have a jacket with temperatures that are going to be in the 50s. When they come home, though, we're talking about temperatures that will be in the 60s with very seasonable temperatures and sunshine. Overall, pretty nice Friday. We'll talk about that and look ahead to your weekend when we continue right here on Good Morning Indiana. The time now is 6:07.
For prices at Ross. Yes for less.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. We're keeping a close eye on your roads here at 610 on your Friday. This is I-465, a little east of State Road 37. This is down on the south side, and traffic looks to be moving along up to speed there. We'll continue to keep you updated on any crashes or delays throughout the morning. So when we launched Hiring Hoosiers last year, RTV6 made a commitment to show you avenues to improve your skill set, find those well-paying jobs, or even choose a new career.
And this morning, there's a place on the city's west side helping to fill a major void while keeping passengers safe and planes in the air.
That's right. RTV6's own Mark Mullins shows all of us how Aviation Institute of Maintenance is changing lives and helping families improve their lifestyles.
Eric West calls it one of the best decisions he has ever made.
Honestly, I wish I had known about this course sooner. I would have been in here a long time ago for it.
The husband and father left one industry that turned out to be not so promising. So he signed up for classes at Aviation Institute of Maintenance and now works for Comlux, specializing in electronics for luxury jets.
The classes actually were direct and to the point, and it was just easy to follow. And being pretty good with my hands, I figured, this is going to be a game changer for me right here.
Same for Timothy Oderemi. He once knew nothing about the complicated mechanics of a plane, but now works for GE Aviation, making aircraft engines and helping to support his family in Nigeria.
I finished my program in June, and soon as I finished, I just waited about 2 weeks trying to prepare myself for job interviews. And even before I left the school, I had job offers.
The Institute is preparing the next generation of airplane mechanics and maintenance techs, helping them understand a plane from nose to tail. The program and its coursework runs for 21 months with new classes starting every 5 weeks.
We start with kind of a base knowledge that you don't really know anything about working in the aviation field or about airplanes or anything like that. And in 21 months, take you from, hey, you don't know anything, to I'm ready to take all my FAA tests, get certified, and go to work.
Administrators point out the industry needs 180,000 airplane mechanics and techs in the U.S. alone over the next 10 years.
Locally, we don't have enough graduates to fulfill the local needs even, let alone the needs across the country.
That's why the school does everything it can to support its students, helping with financial aid and other life demands.
We put all kinds of resources in place to help them get through the challenges of transportation, housing, childcare. We provide tutors. Our instructors are here every day of the week to provide them with assistance when challenges happen in the classroom.
Tuition starts around $35,000, but there are grants and financial aid available. Graduates say the cost may sound steep, but it's worth it.
Kids are a little bit more spoiled now, so I think, but everything else, everything's been worked for the family.
It helped me to provide for myself, pay my bills. Beyond my bills, I can take care of my family. I can take care of my siblings, my parents back home in Nigeria. I make them smile, and they pray for me always.
Working for you on Indianapolis's West Side, Mark Mullins, RTV6.
Mark, thank you. Administrators say that graduates who land a job can start out making about $30 an hour. That's before overtime.
Several large commercial airlines are already asking for graduates from AIM. Meantime, the Institute is hosting a career fair at its campus on October 24th. It's open to students, graduates, and the community. Employers from aviation and non-aviation companies will also be there to hire and provide resources. It runs from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. at the AIM campus on West McCarty Street. If you'd like to learn more about this or the classes, search for this story on hiringhoosiers.com. At 6:15, Todd, these temps have finally lowered and we are feeling like it is officially fall.
Yeah, and after we spent much of this week with record temperatures, at least the first 3 days, and we got really close on Sunday as well, we have that new air mass in place, and as Meredith mentioned, it's one that's more comfortable as well. As far as going forward in this forecast, picked out some headlines for you. There will be the chance of some showers on Sunday. We need the rainfall. We're not going to see a lot of rain on Sunday, but there's also no big time heat. This is not just a cool reprieve from the heat, as temperatures from this point forward, at least it looks like for the next 7 to 10 days, are going to be running at or just a little bit above normal. We're not going to have those temperatures into the 80s and 90s. This morning, as you walk out the door, it's 53 degrees at the airport in the city. The wind is out of the north at 9 miles per hour. So there's a little bit of a breeze this morning, but it's more the wind direction that's a player in our forecast for the day today, as that north wind is going to keep these temperatures from warming into the 70s. 46 right now in Lafayette and Crawfordsville, 48 in Greencastle. A few 40s now from Peru up towards Tipton, still holding on to 53 degrees in Bloomington, with skies here that are mainly clear. We had a little bit of cloud cover earlier, but that has basically faded away, and high pressure is in control, and it's just going to be a nice, sunny, seasonable day for us, with temperatures today that'll be climbing all the way up into the upper 60s for your highs. So we're in the 50s throughout the morning hours, so you may want to have the light jacket handy. 61 degrees will be your noontime temperature, and then there's our high early in the afternoon, and eventually this evening should be great weather for the high school football games, the Friday football frenzy. Join the sports team and all our photographers out there. We'll be getting you highlights of the games, and temperatures will be right around 64 at kickoff. Jacket will be needed, especially once that sun sets, which is, by the way, at 7:23 this evening, as temperatures eventually fall into the 50s as those games wrap up. And then tomorrow morning when you wake up, about 42 to 48 degrees. It's a real cool start to our Saturday, but with lots of sunshine and a little more of a southerly wind tomorrow, that'll help to get the temperatures up into the low 70s for your afternoon highs. So tomorrow, really a great day. It's the better day of the weekend because we will be having sunshine and temperatures in the mid 70s. Once we get to Sunday, it's still mild with highs in the 70s, but we bring in the shower chance into the the forecast. And some of those showers could get in here late Saturday night, but it's really overnight and it's a Sunday morning that we deal with just a few spotty showers moving through. And then by the afternoon hours, we should be working into more and more in the way of sunshine throughout the day. So here's a look at your 7-day planning forecast. Once we get past that shower threat Sunday morning, we're looking at seasonable temperatures next week in the 60s and 70s for highs. Low temperatures, very, very comfortable, Lauren, which will be in the 40s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. This is I-65 at Keystone Avenue on the near south side of town. A heads up, Kelsey's been telling us about this all morning long. We do have a weekend closure that will impact this area. The northbound lanes of I-65 closing tonight at 9 p.m. between I-465 on the south side and the north split downtown. You'll need to take some alternate routes if you're trying to get downtown from the south side. Maybe take the East Street exit. You can take Harding Street, a number of other ways, but you will not be able to take I-65 into downtown. So plan ahead for that. That'll last through Monday at 6 a.m. Let's take a live look right now at our Traffic Now map. Right now, no crashes to slow you down, so planning out your drive on the west side. Traveling eastbound on I-74 through Brownsburg, it's a 7-minute commute from State Road 267 to the I-465 ramps there. No delays.
At 6:18, several new developments this morning in the impeachment battle. We're learning more about the text messages provided to Congress by the former U.S. envoy to Ukraine. And the president is now urging another country to also investigate his political rival. ABC's Serena Marshall has the latest from Washington.
A new request coming from the president.
China should start an investigation into the Bidens.
Boldly urging China to investigate Joe Biden and his family, even as he faces possible impeachment for asking Ukraine to do the same thing. And days before Beijing officials arrive in the U.S. to resume trade talks. Joe Biden's son Hunter has had business dealings in both China and Ukraine while his father was vice president. But in both cases, there has been no evidence of any wrongdoing. This as the president's former envoy to Ukraine, Kurt Volker, testified on Capitol Hill for more than 10 hours behind closed doors, handing over damning text messages that go back months, including one with a top aide to Ukraine's president that happened in the hours before President Trump spoke with the leader. In the exchange, Volker emphasizes a meeting is predicated on an investigation, writing, assuming President Xi convinces Trump he will investigate, get to the bottom of what happened in 2016, we will nail down a date for a visit to Washington. A few weeks later, State Department officials drafted a statement for Ukraine's leader that would have committed him to investigations of President Trump's rivals. The statement was never released, but days later, the president's trip to Poland, where he would have met with Ukraine's President Zelensky, canceled. At this point, the top American diplomat in Ukraine, Bill Taylor, texted this asking, are we now saying that security assistance and White House meeting are preconditioned on investigations? The response coming from the U.S. ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland. He responded, call me. 1 week later, Taylor expressing outrage, writing, I think it's crazy to withhold security assistance for help with a political campaign. Sondland replies, I believe you are incorrect about President Trump's intentions. The president has been crystal clear, no quid pro quo of any kind. But Sondland then adding, I suggest we stop the back and forth by text.
Republican lawmakers on Capitol Hill said that those text messages show no evidence of a quid pro quo, even as they had trouble defending the president's latest ask of China. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
We are working for you with details surrounding a voluntary recall of chicken salad sold in 15 states, including Indiana. Lipari Foods says several types of its chicken salad products contain listeria. The bacteria can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections in young children, elderly people, and others with weakened immune systems. You can head to the Lipari website for a complete list of the products being recalled.
It is 6:21, and Macy's plans to hire about 80,000 seasonal employees for the holidays this year. The retailer says it's expecting a busy shopping season, and hiring for both Macy's and Bloomingdale's is on the list. Now, many of those jobs, you won't have to deal with the anxious shoppers. About 30,000 of them are in the store's fulfillment centers. The company is hosting a national hiring event on October 24th at all of its stores, where on-site interviews will be available. And then Macy's says it will schedule phone interviews for those online applicants.
Distillers across the Midwest are descending on Brown County this weekend, and you can too. Keep watching for your chance to win tickets to the Midwest Distillers Fest. We'll be right back.
Waffle for the chance to win a trip to Belgium.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:24, and here's a live look at traffic to the north. I-465 at Michigan Road, where traffic is moving along just fine this morning. No issues to slow you down.
Before you head out the door, it's time for the Trending 6.
These are some of the stories that everyone's sharing online today that you'll want to know about.
Here's your daily dose of cute. Video of a cheetah cub and a rescue dog getting along like the best of friends. The cheetah's name is Chris. She's about 3 months old, and her canine friend is Remus. Chris was the only surviving cub from her litter, so she was hand raised alone with no siblings. So zookeepers introduced Remus for companionship as a surrogate sibling, and as you can see, they're going to be besties for life.
Very cute. McDonald's bringing back a fan favorite. The McRib will return next week. The iconic sandwich first launched in the Golden Arches in 1981. Not every location will get the McRib, though. McDonald's says the sandwich will just appear at over 10,000 U.S. restaurants for a limited time.
Applebee's wants you to get in the Halloween spirit with this colorful concoction. It's only $1. The bright purple drink contains rum and strawberry, passion fruit, dragon fruit, and pineapple juices. It's served up with a cherry on top and a set of vampire fangs.
Well, the college admissions scandal was a huge story of 2019, and now it's a Halloween costume, of course. Well, the costume features an orange crop top and pants set complete with the inmate number. It's likely a jab at actress Felicity Huffman, who will report to jail this month for 2 weeks. That's her sentence for paying $15,000 to have her daughter's SAT score raised. This costume will cost you $70.
Kiss wants some lucky fans to join them in Australia for a concert for great white sharks. The band is bringing fans into the Indian Ocean. They'll lower amps into the water to attract great whites as the band performs on a floating stage. The band says it's the first time ever a live concert will be held for great white sharks. Spots go on sale October 14th. Hopefully sharks like rock and roll and aren't fans of country music or rap instead, and then they'll swim up.
We'll find out. Well, a father and son in Colorado are building a model of a Lamborghini using parts with a 3D printer. Xander Backus and his dad are putting the Corvette engine inside, so it's not a real Lambo, but they say that's not the point. The point is getting people interested in science and engineering. Pretty cool. We do want to bring in Todd Clausen because something else a lot of people are going to be talking about is finally getting all the fall feels for the weekend.
You can break out those sweaters.
Yeah, you know, everybody probably has their flannels, their sweaters,
just
their
sitting
vests.
in the closet.
You know, they're wanting to take those fall pictures with the families. The leaves aren't really changing as of yet, but at least you can get out in the pumpkin patch and you won't be sweating up a storm here this weekend, or the apple orchard as well. Temperatures this morning are in the 50s, and we'll stay in the 50s through at least about 10 a.m. and then eventually 62 degrees will be your noontime temperature, and then highs today with partly cloudy skies into the mid-60s to the north, right around 70 degrees from Indianapolis to the south. All in all, a terrific day. We'll talk more about your weekend forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you. Friday Football Frenzy is in Pendleton this morning. We'll check in with Alyssa Donovan and the Arabians when Good Morning Indiana continues next.
It's terribly exciting. That's why we do it. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Breaking overnight, a shooting leaves a teenager dead on the north side. We'll show you the scene and what we know so far about what led up to that gunfire. Kelsey.
I'm Kelsey Anderson, live in Indianapolis with more information on what you need to know if you have weekend plans in Indianapolis.
And it's Friday Football Frenzy time. We are at Pendleton Heights High School this morning. We'll check in with Alyssa Donovan and see how the Arabians are getting ready for their big game tonight. But first, at 6:30, we want to welcome you in on this Friday morning. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. And if you're thinking about Friday night football under the lights, we do have good news. It's finally going to feel like the boys of fall
Yeah, you
out
can
there.
finally wear your hoodie and your vest and your jacket. All that fun
You know,
stuff.
the last 2 Fridays, it's been very, very warm. It felt anything like
Feels
football
like the
weather.
first game of the season.
Yeah, the first week was cool, and this week's going to be cool as well. So, yeah, have that jacket and the blanket maybe handy if you're going to be sitting in the stands later on this evening. As you walk out the door this morning, you're walking out to clear skies all across the area. Temperatures are a lot cooler this morning than they have been. So that's why I want to point them out for you this morning. You'll notice that if you haven't walked out the door this morning, you may turn around and go go right back in and grab that jacket. 45 in Crawfordsville, 53 in Bloomington, 53 in Indianapolis. And these temperatures, they may go down another degree or two this morning before they start to climb through the 40s and into the 50s later on this morning. And eventually we end up in the 60s. So a little bit of cloud cover earlier is basically falling apart across the area. That is the good news. High pressure is in control. No clusters of storms, no fronts coming throughout the day today. So it's honestly just a mixture of sun and clouds for us. And as far as temperatures go this morning, 54 degrees by 9 a.m., close to 60 degrees by 11 a.m. Then we'll continue to warm into the afternoon. More on that forecast, your Friday Football Frenzy forecast, and look ahead of your weekend coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here's a live look in the downtown area. Your drive here at I-65 and I-70 at the North Split should be a smooth one at this hour. Everything's traveling up to speed. No crashes to slow you down. And we're going to check in with Kelsey on a traffic alert that will impact you in this area starting tonight. That's coming up.
We have been following breaking news from overnight this morning. A shooting has left a 15-year-old dead on the city's north side. This all happened around 2 this morning on Pemberton Circle. That's near 86th and Ditch Road. Police believe 3 other juveniles were in or around a vehicle when the teen was shot and killed. Officers are still trying to find out what led up to the shooting.
And also this morning, police are investigating another shooting, this time on the north side. This happened near 23rd and Sheldon. Officers tell us the 18-year-old victim is not being very cooperative. They say the man was shot in the side, and they believe that shooting actually happened a few blocks away from where he was found. There's no word so far on what led up to that shooting. And police are still trying to figure out what led to gunfire outside of a Broad Ripple bar that left a 36-year-old man dead. Alfred Hayes died from his injuries after being shot early Thursday morning near Connor's Pub. Investigators are still talking to witnesses, and they have yet to release information about a suspect or what led up to that shooting.
We're working to learn the identities of 6 people on board a plane that crashed in Michigan after taking off from Greenwood. The single-engine plane went down Thursday morning near Capital Region International Airport in Lansing, killing 3 people and critically injuring 3 others. The Federal Aviation Administration registry shows the plane is owned by a company in Greenwood. Lansing airport officials said they received an emergency alert from the plane. It's unclear if the alert came before or after the crash. The FAA and NTSB are investigating.
At 6:33, after several deadly crashes, plans are being made to change an intersection that firefighters say is known to be dangerous.
In 2015, in December 8th of 2015, we had a fatal motorcycle accident there, and it was a very horrific run. It was one of the worst ones I've ever been on in my 35 years being a fireman.
That's one of several deadly wrecks over the years at State Road 267 and County Road 1000 North. That's out in Hendricks County. The latest crash happening Wednesday night. It prompted RTV6 to look into this issue. 3 vehicles collided, killing 16-year-old Josie Cranville. It's been 23 years since the death of Denai Maturmamos survived an accident there at the same intersection. Her best friend and youngest son died in that crash.
It's heartbreaking. Having lost my child, I can sympathize with the family. It's very difficult, and it brings up a lot for me, being the anniversary and the accident happening the night before.
RTV6 reached out to the Department of Transportation about the intersection and learned a traffic study wrapped up just last month. There are now plans to add a traffic signal at that intersection. It could take between 12 and 18 months for that light to be installed.
Some Indiana lawmakers are pushing for work zone speed cameras to be installed along the state's highways to catch speeding drivers. Members of a transportation study committee advanced a plan to authorize those cameras on Wednesday. The panel will decide later this month whether to officially recommend the measure. State records show work zone collisions nearly tripled between 2013 and 2017. State Representative Chuck Mosley says he is determined to get the plan passed in 2020. If approved, Indiana would become the 6th state with a work zone cameras. Another weekend, another major interstate closure in central Indiana.
That's right. You may need to find a different route to get from the south side to downtown over the next few days. And so our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with an update from INDOT on a big weekend road closure. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning. So yeah, tonight at 9 o'clock, this road's going to look a lot different because they are closing it tonight at 9 p.m. It's going to be completely closed, I-65 northbound from I-465 to the North Split downtown for construction. So here's a live look at it. This closure goes into effect at 9 p.m. and will last through Monday morning at 6 a.m. So if you're coming to work earlier than 6 a.m. on Monday morning, you're also going to need to find an alternate route. This closure will impact you if you're heading into downtown from the south side, and drivers should use I-465 to get around the closure. Also, only one northbound lane will be open between Southport Road and I-465 during this time. So it's important that, again, if you're heading downtown, just plan ahead. Head over to theindychannel.com for a complete list of road closures and road reductions in our area over this weekend. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Is finally Friday, and that means it's time for Friday Football Frenzy.
This morning, we're getting revved up for the big game with students at Pendleton Heights High School. That is where we find our Alyssa Donovan this morning, where the Arabians say they are ready to play. Hey, Alyssa.
I'm live here at Pendleton Heights High School, where the Arabians are getting ready to take on the Delta Eagles tonight. They are pumped for the game. We have the band here. They are playing for us. We also have the cheerleaders. They're stunting away, gearing up for the big game. We got a few in the front I wanted to talk to. What are you guys excited about for tonight?
To cheer on the football players.
Yeah, we're excited for this game. It's going to be a good one. What are you excited about?
To watch the football game.
Yeah, woo! How about you?
I love cheering with the student section.
All right, they got a great student section. I'm told that this is one of the best bands in central Indiana, so we'll be hearing them tonight as well. Now, the Pendleton Heights team is coming off 2 losses from the past 2 games, so they are hoping for a win tonight. They're playing the Delta Eagles, which is a great team. They have not lost a season, but I'm told that they are bringing the energy tonight, and they're hoping to come home with a win. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Alyssa, thank you. He is already being investigated for it. Now the president is under new scrutiny for openly asking a foreign leader to investigate a political opponent. The latest on the impeachment investigation just ahead.
And if you're a bourbon lover, get ready for this. Just after the break, we have your chance to win tickets to the Midwest Distillers Fest this Saturday down in Brown County. Todd.
And that should be a good time down there in Brown County. The weather will cooperate for any of your fall activities or heading out for a car wash. We'll give you the green light today, the green light for Saturday. Some caution, no, on Sunday. The yellow light is some showers enter the forecast. We'll talk about our weekend coming up in just a few minutes when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:38. Stay with us. We'll be back.
9. Rallies and checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
6:41 on your Friday, and we're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. No problems right now with the South Split in downtown, but a heads up over the weekend. We do have a full closure of I-65 northbound from I-465 on the south side all the way up to the North Split downtown, so this area will be impacted for your weekend commute. That's scheduled to wrap up Monday morning. So even as impeachment investigators look into whether President Trump asked Ukraine's leader to investigate a political opponent, the president proceeded to openly ask another country for the same favor.
During an impromptu exchange with reporters, Trump suggested that China should also investigate potential 2020 challenger Joe Biden and Biden's son.
China should start an investigation into the Bidens, because what happened in China is just about as bad as what happened with Ukraine. So I would say that President Zelensky, if it were me, I would recommend that they start an investigation into the Bidens, because nobody has any doubt that they weren't crooked. That was a crooked deal, 100%.
Impeachment investigators also learned that Trump made that request directly to China's president in June, about a week before he asked Ukraine's president to investigate the Bidens. Biden's son, Hunter Biden, has business dealings in both Ukraine and China, but there is no evidence he has done anything illegal.
It's 6:42. You can add another name to the growing list of candidates in Indiana's 5th congressional district who want to replace the retiring Susan Brooks. Republican Dr. Chuck Dietzen of Zionsville just launched his campaign. Dietzen recently retired retired as Chief of Pediatric Rehabilitation Medicine at Riley Hospital for Children. He's also the founder of Timmy Global Health, a nonprofit that's worked to expand healthcare access in developing countries. Dietzen is the 5th Republican to enter that race.
Ohio University is suspending all of its fraternity organizations over concerns of hazing. In a letter from the Interfraternal Council, the university said it received reports of hazing from 7 of its 15 chapters. Last spring, one other fraternity was expelled for hazing, alcohol, and drug use after an 18-year-old was killed. Under the suspension, the organizations cannot engage in chapter events, meetings, or activities until further notice.
It's 6:43. Bed Bath & Beyond will be closing more stores than it originally planned. That retailer said that it will soon close 20 more stores in addition to the 40 that were already announced back in April. The affected stores will be closed by the end of the year. The locations of those stores have not been released. Without these stores, Bed Bath & Beyond will still have roughly 1,000 stores across the country. All right, here at 6:44, we do want to check in with our weather because it is time to do all those fall things this weekend that you've been maybe doing in your summer clothes, right?
Yes, Todd. We finally have those fall-like temps that everybody has been waiting for.
Yeah, you know, we have the cooler temperatures. Now we just need the leaves to start to change color here across the area. It hasn't done so with the heat. They're kind of just getting brown and just dropping because it's been so dry. I showed you this drought monitor yesterday. I told you it was going to be updated Thursday morning. So here is the updated version. The big difference, a lot of southern Indiana here now put under the moderate drought. They added Indianapolis here to abnormally dry, as well as northeastern portions of Indiana. There's not a lot of rain in this forecast, but nonetheless, we will continue to run very dry, and I wouldn't be surprised by the time we get to next Thursday with minimal rain opportunities that moderate drought gets expanded. So we need some rain. One decent opportunity here going in the forecast. More on that in just a minute. 53 degrees as you walk out the door. That's the difference. The wind is out of the north. No longer are we talking about temperatures in the 60s and 70s to start off your day. Those have been replaced by the 40s and 50s. 46 in Lafayette, 48 Greencastle, 40s from Tipton up towards Peru. So definitely a cooler morning. Some of you may want to have the light jacket as you walk out the door as skies are clear. Once the sun comes up, it'll feel a little bit better out there. You may be able to shed that jacket, but there's still a big difference. I always say it's about a 10-degree difference between being in the sunshine or in the shade. So 69, which is our high temperature today in the sunshine, will feel pretty good. 69 in the shade will actually feel a little on the cool side, but nonetheless, a beautiful morning to get out there and walk your favorite four-legged friend. Take a look at Thor. He looks like he's playing in the backyard or parked there. He's got the tongue wagon, sprinting there, and we'll give you the green paws from start to finish throughout the day today with all the sunshine. 53 degrees at 7 a.m., climbing into the mid to upper 60s later on this afternoon. As far as high temperatures, though, across the area, here's what we'll get in southern locations. We should get up to about 71 in Columbus, 70 in Bloomington, mid 60s in Peru, over towards the Muncie area. This evening for all the high school football games, it's going to start to feel like football weather out there. The past 2 weekends, we've been dealing with all those warm temperatures starting in the 60s this evening, eventually falling into the 50s. So make sure you grab the jacket or maybe a blanket as you are sitting in the stands cheering on your loved ones. And then as we walk into tomorrow morning's forecast, we're in the 40s, 45 in Lafayette, about 47 in Indianapolis. They should be pretty widespread across the area. It's also 47 in Columbus to start your day tomorrow. But tomorrow we have a little more of a southerly wind, and that'll bring temperatures up into the mid 70s with mostly sunny skies. Sunday is one of those days where we bring in the chance of some showers. We're not looking at any heavy rainfall, and it's basically the first half of the day. But as you maybe make preparations to go for church or maybe out for brunch Sunday morning, just know there'll be some spotty showers. They actually come in during the overnight hours, then they kind of just linger into Sunday morning before moving out. So the second half of Sunday is going to be brighter than the first half. As far as the rain goes, it's going to be very, very light. It's not really going to put much of a dent, I think, into the abnormally dry conditions that we have here across central Indiana. But nonetheless, we'll take any shower chances that we can get. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are dry with lots of sunshine. Comfortable temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s. Low temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. And then more rain chances enter the forecast next Thursday. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much for keeping a close eye on your Friday morning commute here as we get close to the rush hour. This is I-70 at Harding Street. Traffic's really picking up both eastbound and westbound. Right now, no crashes or delays here to slow you down. Well, hey, it is time for Friday Football Frenzy as we near the end of the regular season.
High school football teams only have a few weeks left left to make their mark, and one of those teams, Pendleton Heights, hoping for a win tonight.
That's right. Our own Alyssa Donovan is with those fired up students this morning as they prepare for tonight's big game. Hey, Alyssa.
We're here at Pendleton Heights High School this morning for Friday Football Frenzy, and this team is ready for a big win tonight. We have the band here, and we're going to play the school song. You guys go for it. Here we go. Yeah. We got the cheerleaders. They have a dance that they do to the school song, of course. This is an awesome morning. Pendleton Heights Arabians are playing the Delta Eagles tonight. They are hoping for a win. Right now, the team is 3-3 this season, so they need a win tonight, and they are planning on it. Now, I gotta say, the Delta Eagles are a good team. They have won 6 straight games this season, so they have not lost one yet, but the Eagles might lose tonight against the Arabians. They are pumped for tonight's game, and look at all this energy. They're gonna have the cheerleaders behind them and the band. They're doing the school song right now. Let's listen. All right. Lots of energy, lots of fun happening here this morning. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. It is the end of a long week, and so next we do want to make you smile as you head into the weekend. Next year, it's Good News Friday, and we have the adorable story behind these pictures of this little boy and his baby.
Oh, can't wait for that. All right, here we go. Now is the moment you've been waiting for. Right now is your chance to win 2 tickets to the Midwest Distillers Fest in Nashville, Indiana tomorrow. The event brings distilleries from all over Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio to one location. Winners must be 21 and up. All you need to do is be the 6th caller right now. Here's that number on your screen, 317-269-1459. Good luck.
Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
Well, we end the week with news that will leave you feeling good, we hope. And we begin Good News Friday with some really cute baby pictures. I mean, who doesn't love baby pictures, right?
The woman who owns Ashley May Photography in Shelbyville says she was editing some pictures when her youngest son told her that his baby girl, named 3, had not yet had her newborn pictures taken yet. So they all went to the studio and took these adorable photos. Mom says she told her son that his baby was too old to do those cutesy newborn poses where you curl them up and everything, but he wanted to do them anyways. And this isn't just any baby doll. 3 is special because Jensen there picked her out after Dad, who is in the military, was deployed.
And
what a sweetheart.
Oh, so cute. Well, almost 4 weeks ago, take a close look. There were those sheep near the woods. A sheep that had been brought to Nashville, Tennessee to be part of a sheepdog competition escaped into these woods. It happened in Bellevue neighborhood in Nashville. So those who live there gave the sheep the nickname Belle-You. Animal control workers say that Belle would eventually come out of the woods every so often and then would run away and hide whenever she saw people coming. We do have some good news today. Belle was finally captured. Some Nashville city maintenance workers happened to spot her walking down the road in the park this week. Belle, we can report, is healthy and back with her owner.
Looking a little guilty.
Yeah.
Well, this is certainly some good news for the planet. A new ship invented to help clean up what is known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is not only operating, but it appears to be doing its job well. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is a swath of ocean garbage between Hawaii and California that's about 3 times the size of France. So some Dutch scientists came up with a new type of net and a device that can collect the trash from large items like tires and microplastics and to microplastics as small as 1 millimeter. The Ocean Cleanup Project hopes to deploy a fleet of ships in the Pacific and eventually rid the Pacific of that giant chunk of trash. Not only good for the ocean, but all the animals that live there and all of us, too.
Very cool. Cheerleader Tyra Winters is a homecoming hero, and it wasn't for anything that happened on the field. The senior at Rockwall High School in Texas was riding on the float in the homecoming parade when she saw a desperate mother and little boy who needed help. The boy started choking on a piece of candy that had been thrown to him from a person on one of the floats. Well, Tyra jumped off her own float and held the boy, gave him 3 strong back thrusts, and it made him spit up the candy that he was choking on. This actually happened 2 weeks ago, but the 2-year-old and his mom came to Winter School this week to thank her.
Way to go.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
All right, well, we do want to wrap up this week with a 100th birthday celebration, and that in itself is pretty impressive.
Yeah, even better, Marie Grover got a surprise birthday song from someone she admires a lot, and it turns out the feeling was mutual.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Marie Grover, who turns 100 years old today, and I'm so honored that she's my fan. Happy birthday to you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Ooh, I think Marie has a crush on The Rock. Who wouldn't want to get serenaded by Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Oh, my
Jamie
goodness.
Klinger is a friend of Marie's grandson and tagged The Rock on Twitter recently asking if he would send a 100th birthday greeting. And to everyone's surprise, he did. Klinger says Marie has been a Rock fan for a very long time. When they were in high school 25 years ago, Marie liked to wear a Rock sweatshirt and talk about how handsome he is. And here to sing Todd a happy 40th birthday is Dwayne The Rock.
I wish. We should have thought of that.
I'll just settle for you ladies. Huh? But I'll take that as well. But that is awesome. Just her laugh and how excited she was.
I know, that
awesome
was
to see.
adorable.
And cool
she's
for The
so
Rock
cute.
to do that. All right, let's quickly talk about the forecast as we wrap up the work week here. We'll get you out the door for the final day of the work week. 52 as you start your 8 a.m. hour. 62, though, by the noon hour. 69 is our high temperature. Plenty of sunshine today. Nice and seasonable going forward in this forecast. Tomorrow, 75, mostly sunny. Some scattered morning showers on Sunday at 72, and then lots of sunshine and temperatures in the 60s and 70s for much of next week.
And while you're enjoying the nice weather outside, hop over on Facebook and wish Todd a happy 40th
big
birthday this
40.
weekend.
Sunday.
Sunday. So happy early birthday, and thank you for joining us. We're back in 25 minutes and throughout Good Morning America with your local news, weather, and those traffic updates.
All your news throughout the day can be found on the RTV6 app. We'll leave you with this live look from the IMS Pagoda, a beautiful Friday morning. We hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching.